Hello students, welcome to my channel Mind Your Exam. In today's video, we will be seeing the next set of 5 commands. We have already covered 10 to 15 we have covered 5 to 10 commands in the HDFS or the Hadoop Distributed File System. And now we are looking at the next set of commands in this video. Okay, so let's get started with the theory first, and then we'll be switching to the command prompt in Windows system and executing each of these commands also. So the first command for this video that we have to understand is copy to local. So in the last video, which was the second video of this series, we saw the last command in which we were copying a file from our system to the HDFS, right? In the last command in the last video, we saw this command copy from local. That means we are copying a file from our local system and then we displayed its contents. Now in this command, what we are doing is we are copying a file from the Hadoop distributed system to our local system. So a file that already exists on our Hadoop distributed file system or HDFS will be copied to the location that we have specified on our local file system or our desktop or laptop, whichever you are using. Okay, so you have to be very careful while writing the syntax, and especially keep in mind the backslashes that you are writing in both the cases. So let's switch to the command prompt. Alright, so I have already started or executed the start DFS command and start yarn command, and if I do JPS, you will see that all these commands, the node manager and resource manager, which are the daemons for yarn, yet another resource negotiator, are running, and data node and name node, which are the background processes or daemons for the HDFS itself, are running. So now let's first display which all files and directories are present in our HDFS. So to do that, I have told you this command in the first video, which is Hadoop FS -ls -r followed by backslash, which means list all the files in the Hadoop file system present on my system recursively in the current directory. That means list all the files, the folders, the directories that are present in this particular directory, which is the root directory. So as you can see, I have two directories or folders, which are BDA, standing for Big Data Analytics, and MYE, which is Mind Your Exam channel. Okay, so in the BDA directory, I have two text files, file 2 and file 3, and in MYE directory, I have two files, subscribers and videos text file. Okay, so now which command do I have to run? I have to run the command that we have just seen, copy to local. So I'm copying a file from the BDA directory in my HDFS to my C drive in local file system. So let's run this command. The command will be Hadoop FS. Instead of this, you can also write HDFS space DFS. Okay, then hyphen copy, T capital, L capital, copy to local. And which file do we want to copy? We want to copy the file named file2.txt, which is present in our BDA folder. And where do we want to copy? We want to copy it in the C drive. So when I press enter, let's see if it's getting executed. So let me go back to my C drive, and this is my C drive, and as you can see, file 2 has been copied here. So the contents that are shown in file 2 are text from file 2. So let's confirm this in command prompt also. Let us see what was present in the file 2 that we have just copied. This is possible using the cat command. So, let me display the contents of file 2.txt, and okay, so the output should match exactly. So text from file 2, this was the output, sorry, this was the content present in file 2.txt, and the same content is shown in my local system or in my laptop now as file 2. As I just showed you, this is file 2 and same content, text from file 2, and here you can see text from file 2. Okay, so this file has been successfully copied into my C drive as I mentioned in the command. Okay, so let's go to the next command for this video, which is the cp command. So cp command, what it does is, till now what we have done is we have copied a file from our laptop to the HDFS, or we have just copied a file from HDFS to our laptop. But now if we want to copy files within our HDFS, so we will use the cp command. So the features of cp or copy command are that it is intra HDFS copy. That means this command will work only for copying data between different directories present in the HDFS environment. Okay, and it helps you to create a copy of the same file at different locations in the HDFS. Also, if you want to copy a directory and all its files and subdirectories into another directory, that is also possible. That also I'll show to you using command prompt. And overwriting, this command will fail if the destination file or directory already exists. So I will show you all the three scenarios. First, what we'll do is, from the BDA directory, file 2 that we just copied on our laptop, we will also copy it to the other directory of HDFS, which is MYE. Okay, so let's go back to our command prompt. As you can see, currently BDA directory has file 2 and MYE directory does not have file 2. Okay, so now let me execute this command, Hadoop file system fs -cp. Which file do I want to copy? I want to copy file 2.txt present in the BDA folder. And where do I have to copy? I want to copy it in MYE folder or directory. And as soon as I run this command and press enter, you will see that eventually the command prompt will be returned to you. No message is getting displayed. So let's just display all the files and directories using the ls recursive command and see if this file 2.txt has been copied to MYE folder. So now you can see BDA folder has file 2 and now MYE directory or folder also has file 2. Okay, so you can again display the contents of this file. So if I do HDFS DFS, you can also write Hadoop space fs instead of this, and I display the contents of file 2.txt, which is now copied to MYE. So I am now writing the path MYE file 2.txt. As I press enter, you will see the content should be displayed. So the content that has been displayed is text from file 2. So now my BDA directory also has file 2 and my MYE directory also has file 2. Okay, so now let's run the second scenario. In copy command or the cp command, the second scenario is if I want to copy one entire directory to a new directory. So for example, I want to copy this BDA underscore big data analytics folder and all its contents, file 2 and file 3, which are present within this folder, into a new folder named big data analytics lab. Okay, so which command will I execute? I write Hadoop fs. Okay, so first you will write the destination, or sorry, first you will write the path of the directory or the file that you want to copy. So right now I want to copy, okay, Hadoop fs -cp. Right now I am copying the entire directory named BDA and I am copying all its contents into a new directory named BDA lab. When I press enter, the command prompt, the cursor has been returned to us, and now let's display. Till now there were only two directories, BDA and MYE. Now if I run the ls recursive command and display all the contents, the files and directories of my HDFS, now you can see there is a directory BDA containing file 2, file 3, and it also, this entire BDA directory has now been copied into BDA underscore lab BD underscore lab is a copy of BDA directory and it contains the same files, file 2, file 3. And the third file, the third directory that was already existing is MYE. Okay, so now you have copied. So now there was another point that we saw during the theory learning part, that if the destination already exists, then there will be an error. That means if I again execute this command, so if I again execute this command Hadoop FS -cp BDA and BDA space BDA lab. So in this case, the copy which I am creating BD underscore lab already exists. So now when I press enter in this case, it should give me an error. Okay, so now let's see if it is giving an error or it has created another copy. Okay, so now even when I re-executed the same command, there is a directory BDA, there is a directory BDA underscore lab, and there is a copy BD underscore lab, BD underscore lab. So now see what has happened. The error what error has occurred is, it is not actually an error, it is a way of HDFS to deal with this systems, with this command. So since BD underscore lab already existed and it was already containing file 2.txt and file 3.txt, so HDFS has created a new directory named BDA inside BDA underscore lab. Okay, and inside that subdirectory, file 2 and file 3 have been copied. So what has happened is, instead of creating a completely new directory BD underscore lab, HDFS saw that BD underscore lab directory already exists. So what it did, it created a new folder named BDA inside this already existing directory BD underscore lab. And inside that BDA folder, it copied file 2 and file 3. So let's just remove BD underscore lab folder so that we do not have much confusion for our future commands. So for removing a folder, as I explained you in the previous video also, if I want to recursively remove the entire folder or directory and all its files and subdirectories, I write the recursive remove command. Okay. So after this command, only two folders should exist, two directories named BDA and MYE. So we are back to square one, and we have seen how we can copy a file from one directory in HDFS to another directory, and we have also seen how to copy a completely existing directory into a completely new directory. Okay, all right, so let's switch to our theory part and see which command do we have to understand next. So the next command that we have to understand is the move command. So the move command is also intra HDFS. That means it will also move a file from one directory to another directory of HDFS, but in this case, the operation will be of moving and not copying. So in the previous scenario, when we copied the file BDA, the file named file2.txt from the BDA folder to the MYE folder, then the original file, file2.txt, was present even after executing the command in the BDA folder, and a copy was created in the MYE folder. But now what we are doing is, I am completely moving a file which is present in BDA folder into MYE folder, and after executing this command, the original file will not exist in the source folder BDA. Okay, so let's switch to our command prompt. All right, so right now I'm seeing that file 3.txt is present in the BDA directory. I want to remove it from the BDA directory and move it to the MYE directory. So to do that, I run the command Hadoop space fs, that means file system -move. Which file do I want to move? BDA file 3.txt, and where do I have to move it? I want to move it in the MYE directory. So let's see. All right, so this command has been executed. Let us execute the recursive list command, see if the operation has successfully happened. All right, so in the BDA directory now only one text file is present, file 2. Earlier file 2 and file 3 both were present, and now file 3 has been moved to the MYE folder, which now contains 4 text files. Earlier it was only containing 2 text files. So this command has also successfully executed. Okay, coming to our next command, which is move from local. So move from local means earlier when I was copying a file from my laptop to HDFS, the original file was still existing after executing the command on my laptop. It was getting copied. A new copy was being created, but here I'm completely moving a file from my local system to HDFS. So let's first create a file named file on laptop. Okay, so this is my C drive, and let me just create a new file. So I'm creating a copy of the existing file, and then I will rename it. So I'm renaming this file as file on laptop, and I am changing its contents. The contents will now be, this file has been moved from my laptop. Okay. So I save this file named file on laptop. I press enter. Yes, I want to replace the contents. Okay. So let's close and see if the file has been modified. Yes. So file on laptop. I have created a new text file which now contains the contents. This file was moved from my laptop. Now this file on laptop, I want to move into my HDFS and into the folder named BDA. Okay. So which command will I execute? I will execute move from local, in which first I'll specify the source from where I'm moving, which is the C drive, then the destination. So I write this command. Suppose I write it with HDFS DFS. You can also write Hadoop space FS instead of this. So HDFS DFS, then I'm doing move F capital from L capital local. Then I specify the path from my laptop, which is file on laptop C:/ file on laptop.txt. You have to specify the extension also, and where do I want to copy it? Into my Hadoop directory named BDA. So let's see if this command gets executed successfully. First, let's see whether the file has been copied into the BDA directory. Yes, the file has been copied. Let's see its contents. So the contents can be seen by Hadoop fs -cat, and which directory, which file's content I want to see? BDA file on laptop.txt. So when I run this, the line that I typed should be visible. Okay. File on laptop still is showing text from file 2. Okay, I think the changes did not happen, but the file has been copied. Okay, file on laptop. I think this is because there were some I need to give admin permissions and so on. That is why the text did not change, but you can see the file has been successfully copied. Now when I go to my C folder, now you can see there is no text file named file on laptop, because all this particular file on laptop has been successfully moved to the HDFS directory named BDA, and it has been removed from the local file system of my laptop. Okay, so you can give the correct permissions, change the content and move the file, and your command will work perfectly. All right. Okay, so going to the last command for this particular video, it is the get merge command. So the get merge command, what it does is it takes two files from your local, from your HDFS file system, merges the contents, and then it creates a new file in your laptop or your local file system and writes both the contents into the new file. So what this command will do is get merge means it is merging, getting the contents of both the files in your HDFS file 2, file 3. Then it is merging, and how it is merging? By by separating both the contents with a new line. Okay, and then it is creating a new file named merge result.txt into your laptop's local system and pasting both the results, both the contents from each of the files into this new file. So what will happen is, suppose file 2 contains the text ABC and file 3 contains the text XYZ. So this command, what it will do, first it will copy the contents ABC, it will insert a new line, that means into the next line it will merge the content XYZ. So now the first line contains ABC, the second line contains XYZ, and this entire content, the merged content, will be pasted into a new text file named merge result, which is placed on our laptop's C drive. Okay, so you can read the explanation that is present here. Till then, you can pause the video, read and understand, and then you can switch back to the video. So I am switching to the command prompt to execute this particular command. So let's go back to our command prompt. Okay, so we write Hadoop FS hyphen, what do we have to do? We have to execute the get merge command. Then we want both the contents of file 2 and file 3 separated by a new line. Okay. Then what I want to do, I am merging the content of, suppose, okay, let's see, MYE, the first file is file2.txt. Then the second file with whom I want to merge the content is also present in MYE. You can specify it from another folder also. Okay, and the name of the file is file3.txt. and where am I creating the merged file? In my local system's C drive, which is the file merge result.txt. Okay, right, let me see if I get the correct output. Okay, so I have got back my cursor or my command prompt blinker. Now let's see first into our C drive if a new file has been created. Yes, a new file named merge result has been created. Now it has two contents. In file 2, what content was present? Text from file 2. And in the file 3, what content I had copied? There were multiple lines, around 100 lines, which said this is a sample data for Hadoop HDFS command. So what we have done is, first file 2's contents have been copied, and after that a new line, that means from the next line the contents of file 3 have been copied here. Okay, so let me show you the contents of both these files on the command prompt also. So the contents can be displayed using the cat command. So we have seen that in the MYE file2.txt, what content was present? The content was text from file 2 that we have just seen. And in the file 3, what content are present? A lot of 100 lines are present. As you can see, 100 lines are present, and each of these lines is exactly the same, which I had written to show you the head and tail commands that we'll cover in the next video. So as you can see, initially the text from first file that we specified, file 2, is copied. Then a new line is inserted. That means from the next line, the content of file 3, the second file that we specified, is copied, and that is now present in our merge result file that is created in our Hadoop, in our local system or our laptop C drive. Okay. So that was all for today's videos. Please let us know how did you find this video. Give us your feedback, that helps us to improve. Thank you for watching. Till we meet in the next video. Mind your exam.